Attention, pet lovers. Do you want to own a truly unique, unusual pet? One that will be the talk of the town? One that no one else has? Well, allow me to tell you that there is now a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a psychic cat. Sadly, I am not joking about this. On the site Avito, which is a sort of a Russian version of Craigslist, a man is selling a cat, and one of the selling points is that the cat is allegedly psychic. The owner of the cat, Vladimir, has the following to say. It possesses an array of magic powers. Chiefly among them is that it sees ghosts and spirits, and as such can determine their presence in your home, regardless of whether the apparitions are good or evil. If you buy him, you need to deal with it. You need good hands. I'm not entirely sure what the last line means. It could be a problem with Google Translate, which heaven knows has its issues. Or it could mean that the cat is potentially dangerous and needs to be purchased by someone who is going to have a firm hand with it. Unfortunately, though, my experience with cats has taught me that the firmness of your hand has very little to do with their behavior. I owned a cat named Geronimo, who 2 years ago died at the ripe old age of 18. Geronimo had very expressive eyes, and he used it to communicate 3 things. My food bowl is empty. I hate you. Fuck off and die. Nothing I did had the least effect on his behavior, which included clawing the hell out of the furniture and peeing all over everything when he got in a snit, which was pretty much daily. I'm honestly glad that Geronimo didn't have psychic powers, because he probably would have used them to stare balefully at me until my skull exploded or something. But I digress. Anyhow, you must be wondering why Vladimir is willing to part with this cat, whose name is Sibgio. If it has such amazing powers, why wouldn't he want to keep it? He doesn't want to, he says, but he's moving to an apartment that doesn't allow cats, so he has to get rid of Sibgio even though he doesn't want to. But what I haven't told you is how much he's asking for Sibgio. 5 million rubles, which at today's exchange rates comes to about $75,000. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't spend $75,000 for a cat, even if I had $75,000 of discretionary income, which I don't. Hell, I wouldn't even pay $750. In fact, toward the end of Geronimo's life, I was considering paying someone to take him, but my wife would have objected, given that she was the only person in the entire universe that Geronimo tolerated, so I don't think I could have explained that to her. Initially, I scoffed at the idea of anyone spending that amount for a cat, but another cat that was sold in Russia, I guess they're more common there or something, went for $83,000. So I guess that's the going rate. Or maybe Vladimir just has a cat he doesn't want and figures he can cash in on the first guy's psychic cat. But it does bring up a question, which is, how would you know if a cat was psychic? It's not like you would think, wow, that cat's getting fat, I need to put him on a diet. And the cat would look at you and say, I heard that, asshole. Apparently, the way Vladimir knows is that Sibgio just acted kind of weird sometimes. Vladimir was buying a house and brought Sibgio along, and he started behaving oddly. Later, Vladimir found out that the house had been owned by someone whose grandmother had, quote-unquote, led a bad life, and Sibgio was trying to warn him. Now, why the grandmother's behavior had anything to do with it, I don't know, given that 1, she was dead, and 2, the rest of the family was moving out. Maybe Sibgio could have told us. Now, the more global problem is that a pet's odd behavior doesn't really tell you very much. My experience is that pets kind of act weird all the time, and it's not because they're psychic. My guess is that domestication just kind of short-circuited them mentally, and that now they all act eccentric just in different ways. If you don't believe me, ask your coworkers about odd pets that they've owned. You'll be there all day. For example, this other cat I owned, whose name was Puck, looked like this sleek, elegant, graceful black cat until she turned and looked at you. First, I think she had mild strabismus because her eyes never seemed to quite line up. Second, she had 1 missing fang, so her tongue kind of poked out of the corner of her mouth. Third, she had a creaky, irritable-sounding meow that went a little bit like, meow. And fourthly, she expressed affection by jumping into your lap, digging her claws into your leg, and then ramming the top of her head into your face. She was actually quite a sweet-natured cat, but even people who love cats had to admit that Puck looked like she had a screw loose. So that's today's news from the world of the weird. Psychic cats being sold for $75,000. Me, I think I'm going to stick with my dogs. I know what they're thinking because both of them pretty much just came equipped with a single thought. Guinness's is, let's play ball. It's a solution to everything. Lena's is, derp. She always has this comical, perplexed but happy look on her face, as if she has no idea what's going on, but is still determined to enjoy it. And I'll take that kind of attitude over a ghost-spotting cat any day. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up. Our resources are down there, and please subscribe. Thanks.